The New York Times has got the item today from Maggie Haberman and some of the other reporters that apparently there were 300 classified documents at Mar-a-Lago over the last year or so, and they think they've gotten them all by now. Why would the former president have that many classified things at Mar-a-Lago?
Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. Welcome to day 581. The National Archives says it found more than 700 pages of classified material, including some labeled Special Access Program, in the 15 boxes recovered from Trump in January. The National Archives informed Trump's lawyers about the discovery in a May 10th letter and said that it would provide the FBI with access to the documents in order to investigate, quote, whether those records were handled in an unlawful manner, end quote, and that they would, quote, conduct an assessment of the potential damage resulting from the apparent manner in which these materials were stored and transported, and take any necessary remedial steps, end quote. National Archives officials spent most of 2021 trying to get the material back from Trump. His attorneys tried to argue that some of the documents were protected by executive privilege, despite Biden deferring all decisions regarding executive privilege assertions to the top DOJ lawyers. Two officials tasked with representing Trump to the National Archives received calls trying to facilitate the return of the documents. Trump rejected their efforts and called the boxes of classified documents mine. The DOJ, meanwhile, says it's recovered more than 300 documents with classified markings from their search of Mar-a-Lago, with each document potentially comprising multiple pages. The first set was delivered in January, a second batch was delivered in June, and the FBI seized the additional material during its August search. Meanwhile, the Justice Department issued a new grand jury subpoena to the National Archives for more documents as part of its investigation into the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Earlier this year, the DOJ requested the same documents and information that had previously been shared with the January 6th committee. Moving on, election systems data obtained by Trump's campaign and Sidney Powell was copied and shared with election deniers, conspiracy theorists, and right-wing commentators. Sullivan Strickler was hired in November 2020 to access county election systems in at least 3 battleground states and copy the software and other data. The files were then put on a server and downloaded dozens of times by, quote, accounts associated with a Texas meteorologist who's appeared on Sean Hannity's radio show, a podcaster who suggested political enemies should be executed, a former pro-surfer who pushed disproven theories about the 2020 election, and a self-described former seduction and pickup coach who claims to also have been a hacker, end quote. In other news, a jury convicted 2 men of conspiring to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer in 2020 over her COVID-19 policies. Prosecutors described the plot as a rallying cry for a civil war by anti-government extremists.
The verdict has just been handed down from the jury in the kidnapping retrial of Adam Fox and Barry Croft, guilty on all counts. We'll start with Adam Fox, the man from Grand Rapids. He is guilty of conspiracy, says the jury, of conspiring to kidnap Governor Whitmer and conspiring to use a weapon of mass destruction, a firework made with shrapnel to allegedly blow up a bridge leading to the governor's summer home. Barry Croft, a truck driver from Delaware, also found guilty of the conspiracy of kidnapping, conspiracy to use that weapon of mass destruction, that makeshift bomb, and also for having an unregistered device, an explosive device that would be the makeshift bomb that the FBI proved to the jury that they made up north in training in preparation for planning to kidnap the governor due to her COVID restrictions and rules.
Barry Croft and Adam Fox face up to life in prison. Back in D.C., Biden is expected to announce on Wednesday that he will cancel $10,000 in federal student loans for every borrower making less than $125,000 a year. He will also extend the pause on student loan repayment for at least 4 additional months through December 2022. Roughly 45 million Americans have student debt and owe more than $1.7 trillion collectively. Borrowers are currently expecting to resume loan payments on September 1st. And finally, voters in New York and Florida head to the polls tonight. Democrats in Florida will choose their nominee to face Republican Governor Ron DeSantis this fall, while Manhattan Democrats will decide between House Judiciary Committee Chair Jerry Nadler and House Oversight Committee Chair Carolyn Maloney. After their districts were merged, only one can advance to the Senate. Pat Ryan, a Democrat who serves as the executive of Ulster County, has put abortion rights at the center of his campaign in the special election of New York's 19th district. And Republican Mark Molinaro, the Republican executive of Dutchess County who ran for governor in 2018, has focused more on themes of public safety and inflation. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditas.
I've been with him where he'll see somebody, not wearing a name tag. Hi, John, how you doing? How's your son doing? Has he gotten over? This is in, at Trump Tower in Las Vegas where he doesn't hang out. And I've seen, and I see the way those workers look at him and appreciate him. And so I can honestly say, I've never seen a racial moment, a racist moment in my relationship with Donald Trump.